violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Scott Reif is breaking news in North Hollywood. Scott Reif is live in Air 7 HD over the scene of a shooting and a crash. It looks really bad, Scott.
It really is, Rachel. It was a car-to-car shooting with the driver of that red vehicle, a man being shot and killed, and then plowing into that pickup truck, throwing it up onto the curb and into a fence here at the...
Wow. And like I told you guys before, the roads are super dangerous, especially when you got super gremlins on demon time and they're operating a vehicle.
The 7,000 block of Fulton in North Hollywood. Now, it happened at 3:30 this morning. It's unclear why that man was targeted. LAPD North Hollywood Division officers and detectives are investigating. At this point, it's also unclear if this could have been gang-related.
With some breaking local news right now, man is shot in the head in North Hollywood.
Gigi Gracia joins us live from the scene now with more on what we know. We know it's still an active crime scene. Gigi, good morning.
It sure is, Tony. We're in North Hollywood on Fulton between Sherman Way and Van Owen. And in the back there, you might be able to make out a red car. Well, inside that car, in the driver's seat, a man who was shot dead as he apparently was driving down Fulton around 3:30 this morning. Multiple people calling 911 to report hearing anywhere from 4 to 5 shots and seeing another car speed off.
Man. Execution style on the street. I mean, this is LA for you. This is how these super gremlins are moving. All right, this is the reality of the situation. We got brothers out here who would rather shoot up blocks and murder other black men. They'd rather do all this than find gainful employment. It's a huge issue in the community.
The man who was shot dead, losing control of his car, slamming into parked cars, actually overturning a car that is believed to have been empty and just parked there. Again, this all happening about 3:30 this morning. LAPD's homicide detectives from the Valley are heading here. One actually just arrived to try to piece together exactly what happened. If you saw anything out of the ordinary around 3:30 this morning on Fulton between Sherman Way and Van Owen, please call the LAPD. Meanwhile, Fulton does remain closed to traffic. So if this is part of your morning commute, you'll want to avoid the area. Reporting live in North Hollywood, I'm Gigi Gracia. Back to you.
A search for answers is underway after a driver is gunned down overnight on a street in North Hollywood. As Gigi Gracia tells us, the victim may have been targeted by multiple shooters.
It is a murder mystery for the LAPD. Who murdered the man in the red rental car and why? It happened at 3:30 this morning on Fulton Avenue in North Hollywood. The gunfire echoing through the neighborhood.
North Hollywood unit shooting just occurred. Fulton and Hart. PR heard 4 to 5 gunshots in a vehicle leaving from the scene at a high rate of speed.
When police arrived, they found the victim behind the wheel of a Chevy Bolt that had crashed into a parked pickup truck, which then flipped over onto the sidewalk. The man had been shot in the face. The car riddled with bullets from possibly 2 or more shooters. Police believe the actual shooting happened on the 6900 block of Fulton, and the victim had been speeding to try and get away.
So he knew the super gremlins were on his tail. He knew they were on his tail. Dang, man. You can see the graffiti on the wall. Obviously a gang infested area. And it's sad, man. But this is what these super gremlins are doing to the community. Nobody's safe, man. And if this was really targeted, we don't know what the victim was involved with. Could have been a back and forth retaliation thing. Who knows? But this is not This is not the LA or the Hollywood, rather, that we see in the movies. Oh no. This is Super Gremlins on Demon Time.
As he was being shot at, he only made it about a block before he died. Witnesses reported seeing the suspects take off in a gray, newer model Dodge Challenger. Now it will be up to
Dodge Challenger. The Super Gremlin car of the hour. All right, so you gotta watch out. Chargers, Challengers, Super Gremlins are riding them.
a team of LAPD Valley homicide detectives to figure out who did this and why. We're told the victim has been identified, but his name won't be released until his family is notified. If you have any information on this car-to-car shooting, please call the LAPD. In North Hollywood, Gigi Graciette.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
A deadly car-to-car shooting led to a violent crash in North Hollywood. The shooting happened on Fulton Avenue and Ben Owen Street. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live at the scene. Tina, good morning.
Good morning, Suzanne. There is still a broken fence out here, but police have now cleared the crime scene and reopened the street. They are, though, still searching for the people responsible for this shooting and trying to figure out if the driver who was killed was targeted or if this was a random attack.
So someone got hit. You see it like on this corner intersection all the time.
Diego Castillo says a lot of drivers race down this stretch of Fulton Avenue through North Hollywood, so he didn't pay much attention when he heard an early morning crash. He figured another parked car had been hit.
They just do a hit and run, and then the owner comes out and they see their car just all totaled, so it gets pretty bad here.
But police say that's not what happened this morning. They say the driver of this red car lost control and crashed into a truck because someone in another car had pulled up next to him and shot him several times.
Woke up at 3 a.m. this morning to 7 gunshots. Pow, 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 pause, pow, pow, pow.
The driver did not survive.
That was 6. Anyways.
Police are now talking to witnesses and looking for security video so they can identify the other car and figure out why this might have happened. People in the neighborhood say crime in the area has been increasing and they think gangs are to blame.
You have to watch your surroundings, making sure you're not caught in the gunfire. It's scary.
What? And that's the mindset? And you know she's a liberal. You know she's woke. Especially if she's still in LA. You have to look out. You have to make sure you're not in the crossfires. It's like they're in a war zone. Like I said, man, these dudes who are gun happy, gang affiliated, all that stuff, look. Send them to the Ukraine since they want to shoot so much.
It's scary. Makes you want to move out of California completely.
Now, police have not determined if this was gang-related or not. They're asking anyone who might have information that can help with the investigation to come forward. Suzanne?
A disturbing scene. A deadly car-to-car shooting led to a violent crash. And our Tina Patel is live at the scene with details. Tina.
Tina, good morning.
Good morning. You're right. We are in a North Hollywood neighborhood. If I step out of the way, there is a car that has crashed there on the side of the street. There is a man inside there who we now have confirmed has died in this crash. Let me tell you what happened as we show you some video from Sky 2 earlier this morning. Police got the call a little after 3 this morning. They said this man was driving down this street when another car pulled up to the side of him, started shooting from car to car. The suspect or suspects, we still don't know, drove off, and the man who was shot lost control of his vehicle, ended up crashing into a parked vehicle on the side of the road. That vehicle, another truck it looks like, actually the impact was so great that it ended up overturning. The driver died. We don't know if he died from the gunshot wounds or from the injuries sustained during the crash, but we're told that he did not survive. So police now have this area of North Hollywood blocked off. They are walking down the street looking for evidence, looking for video cameras in the area to see if they can piece together exactly what happened and get a better description of the suspect vehicle. Here's what one woman who happened to be in the neighborhood at the time said about what she heard.
Pow, 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 pause, pow, pow, pow. And then they screeched.
There we go. She got it right this time. But man, I mean, this is what y'all voted for. I don't feel bad at all. Maybe for the victim if he wasn't involved, but if he was involved, then hey, I mean, that's the life you sign up for. But for these glider liberals, man, it's what you asked for. So if you do get caught in the crossfire, just know that you voted for Super Gremlins to be on demon time.
And the car went off. It's scary. Makes you want to move out of California completely.
Now, as we come back out here live, still not a lot of information. Police know that the driver who died was a black man in his 20s, but they don't know much about him and whether he was targeted or whether this was a random shooting. They do.
And it's very rare. I wanted to stop it there because it's very rare that they even give the race of the victim. So we know that it was probably another super gremlin who did the deed. And this is the culture that we've cultivated for ourselves, man. It's endless. Get them back. Street code is in full effect, so this isn't going to get solved unless the police, get a break in the case. It's crazy, man.
Do not believe that it was gang related, but again, still very early in the investigation. So they're asking anyone who might have been in this area, who saw anything, to let them know so they can piece together what happened here. And this is Fulton and Hart Street. These streets are going to be closed for a while the investigation goes on. Right now, that's the latest in North Hollywood. We'll send it back to you.
Whatever the case, it is a heartbreaking moment for the family of that victim. Tina, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So
it is what it is.